This video is for you if you own or manage an aesthetic clinic. My name is George and I'm the co-founder at ADvirals, a growth marketing agency. And in the next few minutes, I want to show you how we generated thousands of leads this year for an Australian beauty clinic. So we onboarded this client late December, and the account had a lot of data. They were in the business for a couple years. They spent money on lead generation, but their problem was the lack of consistency. Plus, they had a pretty bad quality of the leads, which was really known in the marketing industry considering Meta and lead forms. So, quick story, since 2023, Meta allows brands to connect their CRM with Meta, which gives more data points to the algorithm, and the algorithm will know what's a good lead and what's a bad lead, right? So this was one of the first things that we came up with. Now, if we look back on the data, so year to date, we spent $21,000. We generated a lot of leads. So let me just quickly show you the performance in here. So you can see the cost per result was at 16, 10, 13, even below 10 on some services, 8, 9, 10. So the average was at $10 per lead. And just consider this is AUD. This is not USD. So it's obviously a lower rate for USD, but the point is that we were able to generate this amount of leads. Now, if I were to look back compared to the previous period, you would see an increase in the cost per lead. And at a first glance, you would say like, oh, you guys suck. But the truth is what we were able to do is basically increase the quality of the leads by one, integrating the CRM of this business. So imagine Meta knowing from all those thousands of leads that it generates which one's good and which one's bad. This is great news, great data that feeds the algorithm. And then the second thing that we did was using logics. So one of the things that a lot of brand owners and a lot of agencies in the industry don't know how to use properly, which is using logics in your forms, in your lead forms. So things like, depending on the answer to this question, they would go further in the funnel or not, right? Or you can apply another set of questions for that specific audience. So this is exactly what we did, and that's why we were able to generate good quality leads directly from Meta. Now, I want to quickly give you context, because you would probably ask yourself, like, why didn't you guys test out website lead gen? The reason was it was a different contract, and right now we're working on that on a back end to A/B test the quality of the leads and the cost per lead. But up until this point, for about 5 months, if we are to include year to date, we were only doing on Facebook leads, right? So back in Jan, our first actionable step and actionable goal was to make sure that the client is not wasting money, because even though the previous agency got them a lot more leads for half the price, the CAC, which is a customer acquisition cost, was way higher, right? The percentage of conversion rate was actually cut in half back then. So things, have changed. That's why we were able to improve everything on this account. Now, all of these campaigns are actually different services. That's why when you look at it, when you look at the account holistically, you'll see different data, like different cost per lead. You would wonder, like, why is this at $8 and why is this at 15? But that's because the pricing for that specific service might be higher, and that's why the cost per lead is also higher. But I can assure you, we got a conversion rate of 25%, which is pretty dope, considering the service business. And If you do own a service business as well and you want to take it to the next level, regardless of the country, if you're in the United States or Australia, New Zealand, or UK, feel free to give us a message and let's talk about how we can partner up to grow your business.